Today I am going to show you how does Amazon fraud detector works, which can be used to detect online fraud faster. And today let's start by creating an event. With Amazon fraud detector you can generate fraud detection for events. An event is defined in structure which can be sent to Amazon fraud detector. And let me start by entering my name fd underscore harshit underscore demo. And I'm going to choose an entity. As a person who is performing this event is known as entity, and I'm going to name the entity sample underscore customer. After I have created the entity, I'm going to define the events variables. Where am I going to select the variables from? I'm going to select them from a dataset. I'm going to create an IAM role, and in that I'm going to fill with the dataset. I'm going to create an S3 bucket, which is basically Amazon's simple storage service, which can be used to save and use the storage through AWS services. And I'm going to name my bucket FD bucket. And the region I'm in is Singapore, and make sure that the region must be Singapore whenever you're doing the fraud detection. They have successfully created the bucket. And let me open this now. As you can see, there are no files uploaded in it. Now I'm going to upload the files. Where am I going to upload it from? The files I'm going to get is from the AWS fraud detector samples, which I found it on GitHub, which are the samples provided by AWS services itself. As you can see, as I've just opened the raw data, which is on GitHub, it contains IP address, email address, billing address, and all such kinds of data sets. I've just uploaded the file. As you can see here, it turns green, and successfully the file has been uploaded into the bucket. And then I open this link so that, as you can see, the S3 URI, which is basically the name of the bucket and the URL of this bucket, and the file is available. Pasted the name of the bucket and created a role. Yeah, and then I have created the data location and I've entered the data location also, copied from S3 URI and uploaded it. As it is showing here, fraud detector could not assume, but after giving it a 30 seconds, then again it starts working, because read the IAM trust policy before that. Okay, after creating the data location, I have now 7 variables, as you can see here: IP address, email address, billing state, user agent, billing postal, phone number, billing address. These 7 are acquired from the dataset which I have uploaded to you. And now I'm going to select all these 7 variables as the category given by the fraud detector. For user agent, I'm going with user agent. For billing postal, I'm going to go with the zip code of the user. For phone number, I'm going to choose the phone number. And for the billing address, I'm going to take the address line. Yeah, as you can see, I'm choosing each and everything. If you can even choose an address line 2 or address line 1, or state or province. Choose accordingly whatever you prefer. But choose billing postal is a zip code, as it is the zip code is like the postal address for any billing address. And make sure it is billing address, not shipping address. Yeah, and after that I'm going to choose 2 labels, which are fraud and legit. As you can see, the event has been successfully created. After that, I'm going to go and start making a model. There aren't any models. Now I'm going to name this model fd underscore model underscore harshit. As you can see, it is online fraud insights, and the event type which I've just created is what I'm going to select, which is fd underscore harshit underscore demo. And here you can see the historical event data, which is the data which I am required to give to the model so that it can learn the machine learning model. As you can see, I've copy pasted the bucket and created the role, and I'm giving access to the data location using the S3 URI. I just copied it and I'm pasting here. Yeah, and afterwards I'm going to go to configure the model right now. And all the 7 variables which I've included during the event creation is what I'm going to keep, and I'm going to label fraud and legitimate labels. And done. There you go. We have created a model, and currently the model training is in process. And usually this training takes a lot of time. As you can see, I've opened it after 19 minutes and the model is still being trained. And you can see that the model performance and model variable importance and tags, these all haven't been completed yet. Okay, finally, the model is done with training. It has taken like 45 minutes for me to get the model to be trained. So make sure that you all take care of time while you are creating this model. As you can see, the status is given as ready to deploy. And the score distribution, you can see that is there are like a model score over a range of 0 to 1000. And the confusion matrix, you can see that the TPR is 94.5, FPR is 16.8. And the area under curve, which is an important accuracy metric, is 0.95, which means this model is pretty accurate. The region under the curve, which is ROC curve, is also accurate. The threshold which is selected is 17% and it is good. Model variable importance. From this you can figure out that the phone number and billing address weren't much important while creating this model. Okay, now let's start and deploy this model. As you can see from the actions bar, I've deployed this model version. But make sure that you read these pop-ups while you are deploying this version. As you can see, the model has started deploying, and then it takes at least 10 minutes for this model to deploy. Done. As you see, it has taken 10 minutes from 45 to 55 minutes created ago. And before that, I'd ask everyone to see the table, which is nothing but how the data has been interpreted. As it is given here, it is when the performance is very high, the AUC is 95. And since the model has been deployed, now I'm going to go and start to name a detector. I'm going to name this detector FD_Harshit_detector. And the event type which I have just created, which is FD_Harshit_demo, is what I'm going to choose. Next. And since we made a model, even though it is optional, I'd ask everyone to choose a model, which is the one we have created right now for this fraud detection purpose. And rules are basically what are the conditions which are needed to be detected for an incoming event. That is, I'm going to choose a name which is fraud rule whenever the model score is greater than 900. To find the variable, you can just click in you can type $, and there you go, you'll get 900. You'll get the variable, and then you can write your rule, which is simple coding, which will take one line. And I'm going to add an outcome which is risk high, as it is a fraudulent activity. There you go, I've added a rule. And to create two other rules, which is a legit labels outcome, which is nothing but when the rule is legit and it isn't a fraud. For that, I'm going to name it legit_rule, and the expression which I'm going to write is when the FD model Harshit inside score, which is the output, is less than 700. As you can see. And then I'm going to choose the outcome, which is risk low, which means these are legit accounts. I'm going to add another rule, which is a review rule, where you aren't sure that the model is completely legit or fraud, so you can review it once. And the model score for this is between 900 and 700. And there you go, the outcome which I've chosen is medium. And I've added a rule. If you want, you can add more rules to make the model more accurate. And there you go, I've configured all the rules as in order like 1, 2, 3, as you can see, and I'm going to next. If you want, you can review this rules for once and review the detector and then finally create it. As you can see, the detector has been successfully created. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the event variables and the value from an adjacent Google Sheet, and I'm going to paste all the values onto here. Yeah, and this data sheet contains nothing but the data set which I have taken help of to create this model. And as you can see, I'm going to take a legit outcome and I'm going to copy paste all the values, that are IP address, the email address, the state, the user agent, the phone number, the billing postal, the billing address. As you can see, the outcome is risk low, which means it is a legit event. And the model Arshit Insight score, which is the model score, is 271, less than 700. Now I'm going to retry this for a fraudulent event. As you can see in the event, I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to copy paste the address, copy paste the email address and all onto the dashboard where you can test this model, test this detector also. Copy pasting as well, as you can see. It is then the user agent, and then I'm going to paste the billing, the phone number, and then my billing address, and then finally the billing postal, which is the zip code. And make sure you give information of everything of the same person. Now I'm going to run the test again. As you can see, the outcome of this detector is high, which means 991, which is quite a huge fraudulent activity. So this is finally how I made a detector and the model and the events and the entities. You can see it on the dashboard beside. You can see whatever you have created, like the labels, variables, and you can use this for the future detectors which you can create anytime. And now I'm going to show you how to create an outcome. Basically, how does fraud detector works? Before that, let's see the pricing and how the free trial and the pricing takes after the free trial. You'll see these are the values which is going to bill for you, and the free trial is basically free for 2 months and it computes a certain number of hours, like 50 hours, 500 hours for model hosting, and 20 GB of stored event data per month. So that's it, guys. Thank you.